Hello everyone, this is Miriam. Welcome to my Ghanaian channel. I hope you guys are fine today. Well, I am doing great and I will tell you why I'm doing great. I think this video will be part of my most memorable, moment videos. A very unexpected, unplanned moment because I just received the news yesterday. I've been invited to a very special event by a very dear person of mine. She's a talk show host, and she could have chosen someone else to go with, but she thought, hey, let me call Miriam and ask her if she can make it, if she can come. Then obviously I had to say yes. So basically, let me explain the purpose of this video, and the reason why I have a mark is because I have all the little information so that I do not get lost while I'm explaining. Today is the 19th of October, Sunday the 19th of October. This whole week, the now president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, he's in the UK, London, for some of different assignments that he had to do in the international side. And one of the conferences he will participate in is the Global African Investment Summit. It will start actually from tomorrow, so it'll be a 2-day event conference. The event I'm going to is actually I'm not 100% sure how to introduce it, but I'd say that it is a pre-event. I think it is an event held just before the Global African Investment Summit. I would say it's a way to maybe introduce what is to come, and also maybe, I guess, for the media or the public to kind of welcome the Ghanaian president. So I think it's just a mix of things that will happen today. I'm not even sure. But yeah, it is held at one of the Ghana High Commission's offices in the UK. It is in Belgrave Square. Alright, so what am I doing here? I will bring my camera with me, obviously, but I have to say that I will probably use it for other purposes, not literally just to make a video for YouTube, but just show you a glimpse of where I will be going, so that you get an idea. Thank you guys for watching.
Without wasting my time, I would want to call on our own High Commissioner, His Excellency Dr. Smith, to give us the official welcome and introduce to us some dignitaries amongst us this evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Mr. President, and all the dignitaries here this afternoon. We're delighted to have our President here to field as many questions as the media who have met here would like to ask us. What I'm going to do is probably first of all ask you to introduce yourselves.
It's my sincerest appreciation for taking time off what is onerous responsibilities to join me here for an interaction. This is a novelty. Normally, what we have done when we go to countries that have a large Ghanaian diaspora is to hold a kind of town hall meeting to which as many of our citizens are able to come and interact with the president. I believe that this could probably set a convention where in areas where we have a large diaspora but we have a lot of media outlets, we could use that as a vehicle to reach as many of our people as we can. So let me thank you very much and express my appreciation once again, and to say that I'm open to any questions that you might have. I don't know, whoever is going to moderate, you put up your hand, and I think she'll call you and then you put your question.
You made a statement in Parliament that under the I Care for You, the Good Ghana, Better Ghana agenda, there is going to be a free senior high school, which will be rolled out either this year But can I know how much would this cost the nation? And where is Ghana going to get money to invest in free senior high school? Thank you.
The event on which I announced it was the State of the Nation address in Parliament. And so it was an address, you know, to our Parliament. And we said that from the next academic year, we were going to start the progressive introduction of free secondary education. The Minister of Education and her team are working on it. They are working on the budget. We threw an off-the-top possible cost, and it came to about $75 million. I mentioned that in Parliament, but they're working through the actual figures to see exactly how much it will come to. I think that it's a matter of prioritization. While we continue to invest in quality of education, we must also continue to invest in improving access to education. And access to education can sometimes be constrained by a parent's ability to be able to afford, you know, payment of school fees. And so at the basic level already we have the free compulsory universal basic education, which is running through. The next takes me to the issue of freedom and justice. Yeah, freedom and justice is our motto, and it's a beautiful motto. And we continue to value the two words, freedom and justice, equally. We have a certain skepticism, which is very healthy in a population when it comes to the issues of corruption. When it comes to corruption, you measure it by the perception of corruption. And so you have several sides to it. The first step in the fight against corruption is to expose it. And so you have to expose corruption before you can deal with it. Now, as you expose corruption and take the steps to sanction it, the perception of corruption increases. We're in this country, we're in Ghana. When the leader of a government said, I will not investigate corruption and bring down my government, we haven't taken that attitude. Anywhere we get a hint about corruption, we investigate it. The determination to fight corruption should be one that is for all of us. Corruption is endemic in all sectors of our society, in the civil service, everywhere. When you go home and a policeman stops you for a traffic offense, you offer him money. Yeah. How many of you won't offer money and get away without going to court? And so it's a fight that is multidimensional and that affects all people. We need information to be able to fight corruption. Those Mercedes that you believe that they use corrupt money to buy, you understand? And so it is a process. Things are getting better. More people have access to water. Our water accessibility was below 40%. Today, 67% of Ghanaians have access to clean drinking water. Those are things that we must be proud of. One of the things we're not good at doing as Ghanaians is counting our successes. We think our country is the worst hellhole in the world, and we always have that belief that our country is the worst hellhole in the world, and so nothing can work in Ghana. But things are working in Ghana comparatively to other countries on the continent. You know, and relatives will complain because you send that odd 100 pounds, 200 pounds from time to time. If they tell you that Ghana is getting better, oh, now we have clean drinking water, or they go to school in this thing, life is getting better, will you send the 200 pounds? So the complaints you continue receiving them, oh, I never pay Ghana say. You know, until with the money, what the bear 200 buy. You know, so yes, I'm proud to report that things are going well. Yes, we've had some economic challenges, but we're taking steps to resolve those challenges. We had a run on the cedi. I mean, all kinds of speculators, you know, went and changed their monies from cedis to dollars because they didn't have faith in the cedi. But that was speculation. It's a bubble. When you speculate on something, it's a bubble. It will eventually burst. And when it bursts, it will come back to haunt you. I know the true value of the cedi is, it has shifted, yes. It used to be 2 something, it's now 3 something. But when within 6 months, it goes 40% of the value. What has happened to make it run 40% of the value? There must be something happening, you understand? And you look at the underlying factors and you can't find what is responsible for it. So then it means that most of it must be speculation. And when you have politicians talking down the CD deliberately and saying that by the end of the year, this CD will go to 10.1, why would you wish that? Why would you wish that for your own country? And so it frightens people, and everybody's little CDs they have under the bed, they go and take it, hey, make $1 and go and buy $1 and come and put under the bed. Eventually the bubble will burst. And when it bursts, you lose money. And that is exactly what has happened. My lady, very good point. We must teach the children from school. And that's why the curriculum should be important. When I was young and I was in school, that was during the Bush administration, we had a course called Civics. Yeah. And it showed us how to be a patriotic and nationalistic citizen. They even taught us how to use cutlery. I mean, all those things were taught to us as children. How to look after your environment, help your father and mother to clean the house in the morning. When you get up, also take a broom and help them to clean the house. I mean, who teaches that those days? I asked about it. They said, oh, it's in the social studies curriculum. You know, but if you're teaching it in a social studies curriculum, in addition to all many other things, then children might probably not focus on what you want them to learn.
Where would you go?
The thing is, if you don't use your local languages, then they call them living languages. I mean, today we don't have Greek and Roman. They are dead because at a point they weren't being used, and the languages died because new concepts come out. And if you're not using the language on a daily basis, you don't capture those concepts. And so when they talk about the atomic particle, how would I say that in tree or in Gonja or in you must have, you know, a group that is tracking the language and creating new concepts in it. And unfortunately, that's what we've not done. If you take the Hausa language, any invention that takes place today, there is a committee that will formulate a word for it in the language and give the definition in the language. And so if we want our local languages to be the, you know, the languages of choice in terms of communication, then we must have a linguistic group. It must be made of professionals and intellectuals who would take the language and make sure that every single concept is translated into the language so that then people can use it in any forum or anything. If we decided today that everybody should speak the local language in Parliament, there are some concepts you cannot capture. So yes, we must use the local languages, but we must create the situation where we are able to translate the concepts into the languages so that people are comfortable to use them in any forum. And I believe that on that score, the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Traditional Affairs, you know, should take a lead in.
I want to say a very big thank you and congratulations for all of that. I know it's not easy. It's not easy. So anyway, when I came in a bit late. But whatever it is, you were mostly tackling corruption, which I believe is one very serious problem that we are facing. It's true. Now you mentioned civic education, and then this lady also said something about how best we can teach the little ones through civic education. Now you all know the industry that I come from, and since I arrived in London, I've seen myself as an ambassador, talk less of what is happening in Ghana. Now, if giving me the opportunity to do something that those days when the civic education van was going, showing films and things like that, giving the opportunity, giving the resources that I can come out with films or documentaries, or not only on myself, but the others in my industry, the names, the images in our industries, they are well known. The children know us So why not us get these people to do these little bits and pieces of documentaries and films that can be easily related to by the younger ones, so that the attitude that we're talking about here, that entails corruption and the rest, will change.
Thank you, Kofi.